I think to prevent the AI from being biased in making decisions, the AI itself has to be trained with the data that diverse and balanced. It has to be diverse because the wider range data are, the more AI will be able to recognize and distinguish the pattern or types of the attacks. And it has to be balanced to prevent the AI not to only focus on one or other types of the attacks.
Kaimuk thinks the model should be trained with a variety of datasets. Also, those datasets must be wide and balanced. Like that, the model's ability to distinguish more attack types will be raised. Now, let's hear Gun's opinion.
I think we should have a specialist in artificial intelligence check on the algorithm of the model to identify which part causes the bias problem and get rid of it. Because the algorithm used to create an AI varies depending on the developers. Therefore, we should redesign the algorithm with a better choice of how we would have it learn and design things.
Gun thinks the algorithm of the model should be checked by a specialist because algorithms vary depending on who develops them. Lastly, for round one is Zen's opinion.
I think Cloudflare should be transparent about the method it's used to develop and train its AI firewall, including this process, the algorithm and data sources used. Additionally, there should be a mechanism to hold Cloudflare accountable against bad decisions made by firewall.
Zen thinks Cloudflare must be transparent about how it developed the model, and there should be a mechanism to hold Cloudflare accountable for problems. Now we've heard the opinions from all three. For the next round, let's see how they will support themselves by saying what would happen if nothing is done.
I believe as time passes, this AI firewall won't be able to block any intrusive attacks efficiently, and as a result, people's information won't be kept secretly or secure anymore. Because if the bias datasets aren't modified, the AI won't be able to recognize some types of the attack that is less included in the dataset.
Kaimuk believes if left unfixed, the model will not be able to keep any classified data secure because some attack types that are less included in the training dataset than others won't be recognized by the AI firewall.
If nothing is done, the AI will only be more biased over time. Consequently, the range of the damage done to people would also be wider. The product or even the company itself might lose their clients' trust, which is the main reason it should be fixed. Well, I think about algorithms is the main reason an AI can adapt to new things. As time goes on, we don't know what it would adapt to as much as the fact that we don't know whether or not those things would make it more biased.
Gun believes if nothing is done, the model will be more biased over time, causing the range of the damage to be wider. Also, the product or even the company might not be trustable anymore since the model can adapt to new things, which we don't know whether or not will make it more biased.
Without transparency about the methods used to develop and train the AI firewall, users may lack trust in these decision-making processes. This could lead to skepticism or even refuse to use Cloudflare services, resulting in loss of customer and damage to the company reputation.
Zen believes if the problem persists, we might not see Cloudflare as trustworthy anymore. The lack of trust might harm the company in the context of losing customers. Now that everyone has supported themselves, let's hear them arguing with the other statements.
I think this method is not suitable for this problem, and to reveal the process that used to train the model is kind of dangerous because the attackers may see the vulnerabilities through the process and use it to attack the system. And I think being transparent is only fixed for the consequences. To make the users secure, the root problem should be considered.
Kaimuk said the problem shouldn't be handled by being transparent. Also, revealing a model training method is dangerous because vulnerabilities may be found and used by invaders to attack the system. The problem should be fixed at the root, not the consequences. We can see that Kaimuk disagrees with Zen. However, Gun also disagrees with Kaimuk. Let's hear his reason.
I agree that a bad dataset can cause the AI to be biased. However, solving this problem by selecting a new dataset is not as good as the method I just represented. Things like datasets are static. Given that Cloudflare is trustworthy, the developers should have selected a dataset that is not biased since they started making the product. Therefore, the method you represented might not be so efficient here.
Gun agrees that a bad dataset causes the model to be biased. Still, he believes that the developers must have chosen a dataset that's not biased since they started, which is why the method he represented is better. Nevertheless, although he's confident, Zen disagrees. Let's hear from him.
Getting an AI expert to check and maybe change the algorithm is important to fixing bias. But we got to be careful. Bad is tricky and we don't want to make things worse. We need to keep an eye on things. Be open about what we're doing and get everyone involved to make sure we're really fixing the problem.
Zen said his approach makes it easier to continuously monitor Cloudflare. He believes that his method will be more efficient over time. That's about the size of what our debaters have to say, which is a lot, so they will conclude everything they've said so far again.
To sum up, I think that the balanced and diverse dataset can fix this problem because the training data is one of the root causes that causes AI to be biased. And I believe that to fix the problem at the root can impede the long-term impacts efficiently.
For Kaimuk, using diverse and balanced training datasets can fix this problem, because the training datasets are a root factor that makes AI biased, and solving at the root can prevent difficulties in the long run.
My conclusion is that to fix the problem, the algorithm of the AI should be redesigned to have a better choice in choosing how it learns and decides things. I believe that of all the causes of the problem, the algorithm is the most unstable one. From that and the fact that Cloudflare is trustworthy, we can conclude that the other factors are more stable. Were chosen carefully since the first time. Thus, there is no need to fix those parts.
For Gun, we must redesign the algorithm to solve the problem since it's the most unstable cause. Whereas other factors are more stable, meaning they must have been chosen carefully. Considering that, there's no need to fix those parts.
My conclusion is it's important to have experts review the algorithm and balance the data, reduce bias. But just fixing technical stuff isn't enough. We also need to open and accountable about how AI works. That way we cover all the base, technical, ethical, or how the organization runs, and really tackle bias the AI system.
For Zen, the approaches Kaimuk and Gun represented are more technical. On the other hand, the method he represented is more ethical. He thinks his approach is more comprehensive and effective. You've heard all of our debaters' opinions and thoughts. Now, it's time for you to decide for yourself. How should we fix this biased AI problem?